Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Um, Brady got shot. Brady got shot. Here's the thing. Leading up to Brady getting shot, Brady was on the phone with Kristen, lying to her. Okay? Lying to her. No, I'm not at Chloe's place. I'm down the hallway. I'm about to go see Rachel. Just give me a few minutes. Then he gets shot. And Kristen's like, what's going on? What's going on? She's yelling, and finally Chloe answers the phone, and she's like, Brady got shot. I can't talk to you right now. I have to call 911. And she hangs up on her, and you know, Kristen's like, what? What's going on? Like, she gets upset that Chloe hangs up on her. I was like, did you not just hear the fact that Chloe said that Brady got shot? I can't talk to you right now because I have to call 911. And part of it, I'm like, okay, you know what? Listen, your boyfriend got shot, love of your life got shot. I understand that you want answers and you're cut out the loop. Okay, I get that. But try to keep in mind that, she did say that he got shot. Also, if you're not really paying attention, he just lied to you. But sure, whatever. So yeah, Brady gets shot. Philip walks in the room, and he's like, what's going on? He's like, he's gonna run outside to try to find a shooter. And then what? What is your genius plan once you catch up to this shooter? Do you have a gun of your own? Do you know martial arts? What are you gonna do? I mean, you know who's after you. And what's gonna happen once you do catch that person and you ID him and you subdue him or whatever? What's to stop the mob from not hiring another shooter? But sure, whatever. He goes out there. He tries to find him. He has no luck because why would he? They get him to the hospital. Sarah's talking to Nicole. And at first I was like, hey, listen, just to let you know, Ava's up no good. Like, mob kind of no good. And at first Nicole's like, well, what do you mean? I mean, like, how should she be doing that? She's, like, she was in disbelief. And I'm like, you sound like you're shocked by it. But was you also shocked when you found out that she raped Steve? No? Okay, cool. So finally she, I don't know, grows a brain or something like that, and she decides to go in the room and talk to Ava, and that's when they bring in Brady. And, Chloe is pacing back and forth, blaming herself, being like, I should have listened to Brady. And I'm like, you know what? I know this is a bad time, and I don't want to sit there and say I told you so. But, yeah. I don't think I really have to say it. Here's the thing. It could have easily been Chloe that could have walked out that door and could have got shot. And then what, Philip? What was your genius strategy then? Yeah, she's pacing back and forth, and Philip was like, it's not your fault, it's my fault. I was like, it's a very smart observation. So at this point, you're gonna leave Chloe after this, right? You're just gonna disappear, go somewhere else. You're not gonna get anyone else caught up in your BS. At some point, here's the thing. At some point, he talks to Sarah. Pretty much blames Sarah and Xander for, dissolving that company. And Sarah's like, listen, this is your fault for bringing, we were just trying to, get tightened out of the mess that you put it into. And you know what? And I know this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. In a lot of ways, he is right. Xander knew what was at stake. I understand that he wanted to sit there and try to save the family company. I think that's all good. But you knew exactly what was going to happen. The minute you dissolved that shell company, the minute that you stopped the whole cash flow of laundering the money, you knew it was going to happen. And you did it anyway. Now, yeah, we can all sit there and agree that, okay, we can all agree that this whole thing started with Philip. Alright? And Daniel was out trying to do the right thing. But again, you know, at the very least, he didn't help. And now Brady is practically fighting for his life. In stable condition, looks like. But, yeah, I'm going to partly put the blame, I'm going to put some of this blame on Xander. And on Sarah, too. Because, well, I can't really put that much of it on Sarah, because let's be honest. When Sarah found out what Xander did, she was like, "Yo, are you serious? Like, you know what's gonna happen once you stop the cash flow." So I'm gonna put some of this on Xander. I just am. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but that's kind of what I do sometimes. And that's just really how I feel. So Kristen decides that when Anthony or Tony comes to visit, you know, Tony's upset about Jake and everything like that, being CEO, whatever, and Kristen's like, I don't give a damn about that. So she wants to know how Brady's doing, and Tony's like, listen, when I get out there, I'll find out what's going on, I'll let you know. Apparently that's not good enough for Kristen. Kristen's like, you know what, I want to know what's going on with him, I want to be there for him, I want to be there for him in his hour of need, and yada 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 yada. Like, I don't know what you can exactly do, because you're not a doctor, but sure, let's break out of prison, because that's her plan. So she's like, you got to get me out of here, and, you know, the guard comes in, it's like, yo, what's all this noise going on? Tony's like, nah, it's cool, we just discussing the family matter. You know, she gets a little, you know, high-strung. The guard's like, oh, okay, cool, you know, just keep it down. So, now I get that this is a show, this is a soap opera, and, you know, things don't sometimes have to make sense. Like, realistically make sense. You want to tell me why the security guard who, has a gun decides to turn his back on an inmate? Any inmate. I don't care if this guy, you know, had a couple of tickets or whatever. He decides to turn his back. It was like, oh, well, I gave you a stern warning. That'll work. And just turn around, and she grabs his gun, and I'm like, good job. Good job. This is on you. This is all on you. Whatever training that you did or that you slept through, this is on you, bro. This is all on you. So now he has a gun pointing at... Now she has a gun pointing at Tony, and the guard's like, oh, you're not going to shoot your brother. I don't know who said what, but one of them was like, well, you don't know our family. Tony was like, no, she'll do it. She'll do it. Like, she will do it. I feel like I'm missing enough. So Kristen's walking towards the door, and the guard tries to stop her. The guard tries to stop her with no gun, just like, nah, you can't go through. I mean, I don't have a weapon or anything like that. I don't know how I'm actually planning on stopping you, but I'm just gonna sit there and say you can't get through. Even Kristen's like, don't be stupid. What are you doing? Get the hell out of the damn way before I shoot you. Is it really worth dying at this point? Like, so yeah, she gets out of prison. Yo, what? What is the security level in this prison? I mean, anyway, she gets out. And, you know, Chloe is at his bed, you know, at Brady's bedside. And, you know, she's like, this is all my fault. And, you know, Kristen, you know, pulls the hat over. And she's like, yeah, what did you do to Brady? and it ends right there. And I'm just like, you know, the fact that you kissed her man was already bad. Whatever it is you got tied up, you kind of roped Brady into this thing, so you're not really adding on any points. I don't know, Chloe. I just don't know. I guess we'll just find out. So Jake is pretty much having sex dreams about Gabby because, I mean, listen, everyone at this point knows how I feel about Gabby. But, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it makes sense. You know, I mean, it just makes sense about having sex dreams about Gabby. I mean, who wouldn't actually have sex dreams about Gabby? I mean, let's just be real. But yeah, you know, Gabby is with, you know, Rafe celebrating his birthday, and then she decides to go over to, well, the DeMeros, because, you know, she wants to, you know, give him that proposal. And of course, you know, she talks trash about Kate, you know, oh, her age, she's a dinosaur, yada, 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 and I'm just like, you know, Gabby, you, I just don't know with you, Gabby. Part of my issue with Gabby, and I know I'm probably going to get a lot of slack, but whatever. Part of my issue with Gabby is her personality. Gabby's personality reminds me of, I don't know, high school level. You know? Like high school level. Not just the fact that she's talking trash about her, just her whole persona about how she deals with certain people sometimes. But yeah, she gets over there, and of course she, you know, just throws, like, I don't know, I can't exactly remember what, but I know she starts throwing, you know, hurling insults at Cade, and it's all like, oh, well, I don't have to leave anywhere until, you know, Jake tells me I have to leave. And, well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure that she actually, like her husband, you know, the will or whatever, something about, like, her owning that property or a little bit of that house, so to be honest, she doesn't really have to leave, even if Kate told her to, but sure, whatever. So they go back and forth, and, you know, at first Kate's like, oh, well, you know, you could just leave, and Jacob's like, yeah, well, here's the thing, I did actually say I was gonna look at that proposal, so here I am, and Kate at this point is like, yeah, I'm done. So she, you know, she kisses Jake, and, you know, she leaves. And then, you know, Gabby's all like, oh, why'd you do that in front of me, you know? Like, that would hurt my feelings. Like, why would you do that in front of me? I'm like, well, because he's going out with Kate. Like, it's not that your feelings don't matter, but you know exactly what they're doing. Like, and, you know, Gabby's all like, oh, what if I kill someone? I was going to sit there and say, I don't think he cares, but I mean, let's be honest. He actually does care, but it just comes across as so petty. Like, what do you think would happen if I kiss another man? I don't care. Like, I partly looked at this scene and I was like, I'm pretty sure there's a book called He's Just Not That Into You. But again, I'm lying because, well, he's already having sex dreams about her. And, you know, she calls him out. She's like, you know, you're still thinking about me. You can't get me out of your head. Yada, yada, yada. And I don't know. Part of me is like, man, you know, that arrogance is just so much of a turn off. But, I mean, it is what it is. So, you know, he can't sit there and be like, nah, I don't think about you at all. I barely even sit there and think about you. You know, I mean, I'm waking up thinking about you next to this other woman, but, you know, whatever. It's like, I can't sit there. It's like, part of me is like, your arrogance is just so annoying. But she's right, so it's like, I can't even say anything. And yeah, you know, at the end she leaves and she's, you know, Jake is still thinking about her. I don't know what's going on, whatever, this business proposal, and, you know, she's all like, oh, well, you know, if you don't look at it and I take my business somewhere else, Shin is going to fire you. And it's just, okay, whatever. I mean, I guess at the end, Gabby's gonna get what she wants because apparently that's just how she rolls. Um, I will sit there and say this much. When she was with her brother, and her brother was like, what's your happiness? Gabby was like, I make my own happiness. I make my own dreams come true. I don't wait. She has that attitude of like, I don't wait until happiness comes to my lap. I find happiness. I'm like, I respect that. What else? Oh, yeah, and then there's this scene, when Nicole comes over. Well, so Nicole talks to Sarah, and then she talks to Ava, and it's all like, listen, I don't know if you're in the mob or if you're not in the mob, but it could jeopardize your life, and just don't do it. But then, Ava's like, I want you to check up on, Rafe as far as this whole charges thing, dropping the charges towards, Tripp, clearing his name. So she does that. She goes over Rafe's place. And I gotta ask the question. Does she not realize it's Rafe's birthday? I mean, she comes over there and she's all like, listen, I heard that you were off, but I want to sit there and talk about police business, like what's going on with the case. And he tells her, and she's like, okay, fine. And she realized the cupcake. She's like, oh, and it's your birthday. How did I miss that one? Well, Jesus, Nicole, how did you miss that one? I mean, at the very least, I thought y'all were somewhat good friends. I don't know the whole story situation, but whatever. Anyway, Rafe's like, I'm going to catch a game. I'm going to binge watch stuff because apparently in 2021, this is apparently what we do. We binge watch stuff. I really, just on a side note, I wish that people would sit there and start saying marathon stuff instead of binge watching it. That just sounds so gross. Like, I can marathon an entire season of This Is Us, but calling it binge watching is just so, ugh. Anyway, Rafe was like, listen, I got plans to be in the house and just kind of chill out. But Nicole's like, it's your birthday, I'm going to take you out, we're going to have some fun. And Rafe decides to go because, well, it's his birthday, And I think that's pretty much about it. I don't think I really missed anything else. Yep, I didn't miss anything else. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, by the way, and I'm probably going to ask this tomorrow, probably in the beginning of the video. But I noticed somebody else that does, Days reviews, and I haven't been on his channel in a while. So if anybody knows the name of that guy that does the Days reviews, I think his name is Andre, but I'm not too sure. If anybody knows it, please write it down. And I'll probably ask this in the beginning of the episode, beginning of the review tomorrow, about his name, because because I'm subscribed to it, but his stuff doesn't come up, so I'm just wondering what's going on. Yes, if anybody knows his name, please write it down in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this episode. And who do you think is actually to blame for this? I mean, I know Philip is initially like this whole thing is in a lot of ways Philip's fault, but I'm going to be honest and put some of that on Xander because he knew exactly what was going to happen. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe. I will catch you in the next review.